Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll address a question about the custom trailing stop and price action pivoter version 3 when using the order flow delta algorithm strategy in NinjaTrader. The question is, what happens if we reduce the trailing stop's minimum unrealized profit from $650 to $325 while keeping all other parameters the same? So I've changed it from $650 to $325, and I'm going to run this strategy on NinjaTrader's market replay for the entire month of July until the end, July 31st. You'll see every trade the order flow delta algorithm takes and the results. I'll also show you the main system strategy's results during the same period. All right, we're off and running. You're going to see every single trade this powerful order flow based strategy took during the entire month of July. I'm going to speed this up for you, but please feel free to stop and rewind the video to review any trade that you'd like. It is important to note that order flow delta algorithm, the third strategy, uses tick data. So to get the most accurate backtest, we need to use market replay. This is not the case in the first strategy, the main system strategy, as that strategy does not rely on tick data. It uses OHLC data, meaning open, high, low, and close data, which will match up with the backtest that you run on Strategy Analyzer. Moreover, just so you have a benchmark to compare results, I'm going to run the same exact market replay on the order flow delta algorithm so you can see the results when $650 is used as the minimum unrealized profit threshold for the custom trailing stop to activate. That way, you'll have an apple-to-apple comparison and be able to decide which risk-to-reward profile is more suitable with your risk-to-reward objectives. All right, the market replay is done. Let's go and take a look at the hypothetical performance. First, we'll study the summary. Let's move this out of the way, the playback button. So this is the summary. Looks like we had 29 trades. The total net profit is $5,237.50. The max drawdown during that period is $1,212.50. You have a profit factor of 2.40. You have a win rate of 65%, but then again, the win rate is not crucially important in my opinion because it can easily be manipulated if someone were to invert the R ratio where they had a smaller profit target than they had a stop. So let's take a look at the trades. All right, that's everything from July 2nd until today, July 31st. So go ahead and study the trades. Those are the exact trades. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the summary so you can remember that, because this is the frame of reference that you have now. You can benchmark this against the trailing stop being at $650 where it activates, meaning $650 or more when it activates, versus $325 when it activates. All right, let's go in and load the strategy. Price action pivoter version 3. We're only referencing the third strategy. That's the only one we're going to run. The only difference in these parameters is going to be that $650 for the peak high-low trailing stop. It was $325 in the previous test. In this one, we're going to run it at $650. Everything else is exactly the same, as you can see. Just to review it. Yep, everything's exactly the way we want it. Let's go ahead and press OK and get started. All right, NinjaTrader's market replay is done. Let's take a look at the hypothetical performance. Let's move the playback button out of the way. Okay, so this is for the $650 minimum unrealized profit threshold for the custom trailing stop. So because the threshold is higher at $650 versus the $325 that we ran earlier, you're going to have less trades. That's because it stays in the trade longer. It is not going to execute the stop sooner. It's going to wait until it gets to $650 or more upon the close of the bar. And if that doesn't happen, then the trailing stop does not execute. So you have less trades here, 26 trades. The total net profit, though, is higher at $6,000. However, the max drawdown is also higher at $1,662.50. The profit factor is slightly lower at 2.23 versus the $325 threshold on the previous market replay test that we ran. The percent profitable, for those who care, is 50%. Let's take a look at the trades. And there you have it. Those are the trades. You can analyze these one at a time from July 2nd to July 31st. The heartbreak one is right here on July 31st. The minimum threshold had to be $650. And it came in at $612.50, so we missed it by a few ticks. And because of that, it had a total swing the other way, and the stop went off. However, that was not the case in the previous one, because in the previous one, we had the unrealized profit potential at $325 as opposed to $650. And so that one did enact, and the custom trailing stop was moved, and the unrealized profit was secured. And this is the hypothetical performance for the first strategy, the main system strategy. As you can see, it's checked 6:30, 12:30 Pacific time, long and short. And you can see that the order flow is not checked. So the only strategy that's running is strategy 1. And these are the rest of the parameters that I used. You'll notice the money and trade management is different than what I had set for the third strategy, because the third strategy is more aggressive. So I was being more aggressive on the money and trade management side. I used 650 here. For the main system strategy, everything else is the same. 100-tick profit target, 30-tick stop. And since this is a strategy analyzer backtest, you also have to add slippage. So I do have slippage as well, 1 tick. And remember, in all cases, you do have to account for commissions as well. Just take the total number of trades and multiply that by whatever you pay for your commissions. If it's $5, multiply that by $5. But since we are just talking about the month of July, here is the month of July. Okay, right here. It had 13 trades versus 29 trades in the more aggressive strategy, the order flow strategy. But it had 13 trades, and these are the results. Let's give you some more data here. So that's the max drawdown. Let's look at the percentage win rate, if you care to look at that. And those are the number of trades. That breaks down every month, but the one we want to compare is this one right here. It's 5,750. Now, the number one most question that I get asked since the release of V3 is, can you use strategy 1 and strategy 3 together? The answer is technically you can. Indeed, all 3 strategies 1, 2, and 3 are OR statements in the code. So you can use all 3 of them concurrently. But what some clients have done is if they have 2 accounts, for example, they have on one account main system strategy, on the other broker account they have the order flow delta algorithm, and thus they're trading 2 separate accounts. What others have done is on one, they've put 1 contract, for example, of ES, and on the order flow, for example, they could have 7 or 8 contracts or even 10 contracts of MES, or vice versa. They can have MES on this one and ES on this one. If you would like more information or would like a Zoom demonstration of how Price Action Pivoter works, you can request one directly from pinnaclequant.com/demo. Until next time, take care of yourself and God bless.